Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you, Marjan, for accepting my invitation and for your contribution. I'm Mariniki Theodorou. I'm part of the Social Democratic Political Party in Greece, PASOK. And we are here today because we are witnessing a very critical time for Iranian people. We are witnessing maybe an historical moment and maybe a turning point, also geopolitically speaking. And the message needs to be very, very clear that we are standing with you. We see you, we hear you, we support you. We support this fight against this regime, this theocratic regime, a long-lasting, if I'm not mistaken, 47 years, a regime of repression and suppression. And we need to say that we are against any regime that violates human rights and threatens its own citizens' lives. So we need to make clear that there is no time for thinking twice about human lives. It's not everything about business. It's about freedom, dignity, integrity, and safety. And for sure you deserve it. And you deserve to take your country back. And it is you, Iranian people, to decide about your future, what is best for you and for your own country. So feel free, Marjan, to introduce yourself to the audience, and after we can move on, of course, with our questions.
Thank you, Mariniki. I'm Marjan Abadie, and I have a co-founder of a collective for freedom, prosperity, and peace in Iran and in the Middle East, because I deeply believe that the trouble we are living under the Islamic Republic, with no respect for human lives and with no intention of bringing happiness and joy to the population, is not only an issue for Iranian, but in the Middle East. We can observe how they are founding many terrorist groups, starting from Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah, Hashoshtabi, and Fatemiyun in all around, but they are also financing terrorism in Europe. In France, we remember very well the bloody terrorist attack in Rue de Rennes in the 80s, and other actions all around the world. In Argentina, when they attack a synagogue. And so they have this capacity of creating these terrorist attack everywhere. And I believe that we have to look at this Islamic Republic issue as a global issue and help Iranian, not only for the sake of a better life for themselves, but also for the whole world.
Yes, absolutely, Marjan, absolutely. So tell us, because for non-Iranian people or people that we are outside of your country, we know about a very specific datation, the 1979. I would like you to tell us, finally, what did happen truly at this specific time, what they have promised to you, and what truly happened after and what followed. And if truly everything began at this specific time, or there is a history or there are events that took place before 1979?
Thank you for asking the question in this way, because actually, I think many people talks about 79 and they have that in their mind because that was the very first government run by religious in modern history. But actually in Iran, the problem starts really for the fight between religious and democratic and other forces starts a while away from this date. The particularity is that the Shia clerical have a long history of power and power abuse in Iran. And like the Sunni Islam, the Shia clerical is highly organized and pyramidal and explicitly structured to capture and monopolize political power. And you should know that Khomeini was very influenced by Muslim Brotherhood. But let's start even sooner. For more than 120 years, this structure has opposed almost every major social and scientific advancement in Iran. They were against Rayware. They were against. They bring a fatwa against this girls' school. They were against constitutional law and modern science. They were against vaccination and modern medicine. And each time the progress occurred, only when the state overruled clerical authority. And with the constitutional monarchy of 1906, clerical lost a large part of their power. Since then, their central political objective has been to recover it. So, since the constitutional monarchy, we had three major political forces: religious factions seeking to govern the country according to the vision rooted to Islam 140 years in the past. And because they had no clue about how the modern world functioned, they have been many times aligned, if not used, by foreign interests. Then we had the far left. I really want to highlight that when I talk about with the far left, that has nothing to do with democratic lefts. And our far left was directly linked to the Soviet Union. So much so that in 1945 and 1946, they was receiving order directly by Joseph Stalin. And backed by him, they created separatist government in several parts of Iran, including under Jafar Pishavari. That's a long story of pain for Iranian. And then the patriots, who wanted a secular, modern, unified Iran under constitutional rules. It's not about being for a kingdom or for a republic. It's about the secularism, the modernity, and the unified Iran. But as we have been always with this very, very hardliner opposition, in that moment, in 1906, that was so hard to keep the Iran unified that the monarchy was the only solution. And its core central conflict has always been between modern constitutionalism and forces fundamentally opposed to Iran's national interests. And this struggle institutionalized itself in 1979 by a very, very, very strong collaboration between the far left and the Islamists. We should not forget that it happens during the Cold War. And long before the Islamic Republic came to the power, Iran became the target of a large-scale media narrative detached from really root realities in Iran. People who traveled that time to Iran could see a very modern country with happy people, with a very large cultural and institutions. And we had other people who based the narrative on democratic, few narratives that I hear them still now. So if you don't mind, I want to highlight this narrative created in the Cold War, that I hear them still now.
Yes, maybe it's, it has to do also with the political bias and the fact that a lot of times people, even if it is political parties or not, even medias, even whoever in the public sphere, is trapping himself inside very specific boxes and labels. So there is a huge confusion, it's a lack of knowledge. And of course, that's why we are here today, in order for us to be able to understand more, to dig more, and to be able, because we are not there. There is you are the most relevant person to speak about what truly has happened and what truly is happening up to now, up to today.
Sure, but I would like just to highlight few of these narratives we are hearing till now, which are really very repeatedly told, and it's damaging people. It's helping people to don't be heard, because even me, I don't live in Iran. I just try to be their voice. One of these narratives persistently repeated is about Mohammad Mossadegh as the one who was democratically elected as a prime minister and overthrown by a coup, and as a father of nationalization of the gas and oil in Iran. First of all, the nationalization was a joint work between all part of Iran. All Iranian wants it to be back to Iran and not exploited by British. And secondly, Mohammad Mossadegh constitutionally was appointed by the king, and the king could dismiss him, and he was removed amid serious concerns of Soviet influence and potential Sovietization of Iran in 1953. And when he refused the legal dismissal order, because he refused that, people never tell you that when they want to believe on the coup, the army intervened to preserve constitutional continuity. And he haven't been killed. He had a fair trial, and the king just asked him to never do again political actions. And in the same time, we had also unverified claim in the 60s, basically, and 70s of mass torture were widely circulated by media and NGOs, often without any evidence and repeated endlessly, creating a false narrative about pre-79 Iran, even among Iranians themselves. This is a nightmare. And this we can be very easily verified. For example, with the case of Vida Hajebi, she was claimed as a dead person or very badly tortured. And a journalist from UK goes to the jail and saw her almost running in the prison. And so it's very interesting. I can give you the link. You can see the conversation between the journalist and the lady to see the depth of the manipulation. And so we are always in this Cold War distortion. And I really ask people to be very attentionful to these narratives.
Yes, look, it's very clear, and we can understand that the situation is not only one dimension, it's much more complex than this that we think. So if you permit me, I can move on with the second question.
The first about yes, please, about
Yes.
what people, yes.
So the second important thing that we would like all to know is like how this regime has designed the Iranian lives across the generations.
Yes, because you know, people when we look at the German, maybe during the Nazism, we can ask the same question: how comes that nothing happened? And this regime has designed Iranian lives not around individual choices from the very beginning, but around control, obedience, and survival. And it has done so across generations. One of the words which really touched me is that the supreme leader, he was telling that if people, they are rich, they can turn themselves from the God's will. So they maintain people in the poverty on purpose. But let's start with the very first generations after 79. Life was shaped by revolution first, and then they start an 8-year war with Iraq. And Khomeini openly said war is a divine blessing. That was ideologically mobilization and fear, because they start at the very first day to kill people without any judgment. That was you know, we have narrative, we have people who came and they told us, they testimony that the supreme judge was coming, aligning 20% and say 010101, and the one with the number 0 were executed. Just a moment, I have to fix my
Yes,
my
don't
computer.
worry.
And so that at the same time that they was pushing the fear, quickly and systematically, the control became normalized. The compulsory railing is something telling to every Iranian, I have the power on your body, is a symbol, is like the yellow star during the Second World War. This is not something innocent. The censorship in the school and universities, they closed the university to review every single part of history and science have been giving to the Iranian. The loyalty test for job and higher education brings that you cannot be a part of the country if you don't believe on them. The constant surveillance of private life and purging of competent professionals who had previously managed the country. Because before 79, we had moved to a country which was in the way of women's rights, social justice, state building, and good governance, and national independence, and even environment protection. Everything from then that has been removed. And women grow with their body regulated by this state. Men grow under the fear of conscription, prison, and economic exclusion. And this, in parallel, the Islamic Republic deliberately engineered a fake opposition movements to capture any movement can come from the roots. So you have reformist, moderate, control factions whose real function is not change, but deflection. And we are seeing them still today, till today, on action. These groups drain energy from revolts, fragment social movements, create false hope cycle, and ultimately protect the system. This is one of our biggest issue. And they weaken every uprising we had, because we have one of them each 2-3 years, actually, by distracting the middle class, systematic corruption, and exiling every talent. Today, we are 15% of Iranian living outside Iran. This is a lot.
So in a way, we can see that it's not something that started today as a resistance or as movements, for example, for human life and freedom. You make me understand, and actually it was also a question of mine, like what unites the past uprising movements with this actual current movement?
Yes. Each time we gain on maturity, I can say, across generation, Iranians have risen up not for ideology, but to reclaim control over their body and their lives, ownership of their country, and the right to build a normal, prosperous future. And what is new today is the clarity, because we have been able to see clearly about what has been shaped to manage the system to stay, as I told in the answer of your previous question about a sort of designed, opposition movements and even fake protesters. And the movement is no longer asking for reforms and rejects the total system itself, because we gain on maturity and so we know them. The problem is outside Iran, they are still very famous and they have a reputation. If I look at the media, they are most of the reformists, they are influenced in our Western media. So back to your question, to say that the link, that is the persistently why the Islamic Republic works constantly to divert attention. That is precisely why the Islamic Republic work on pushing secondary or artificial debates. If you look at every time they bring something else, promoting fake opposition and fragmenting movements. That was lessons from the past uprising are clearly seeing the impact now. Every time attention was diverted to the regime and helped the regime to survive. And what unite the past with the present movement, therefore, is not only the courage of these people who are going outside. Each time, I can tell you the last time we have uprisings like that. That people are talking also about thousands of died people. But learning today's movement is more mature, more unified, because people inside Iran, I'm nobody, but inside Iran, there is only one name people are claiming. So they are unified and more determined to not to be distracted, not to be divided, not to be settled. But we face a major problem. The regime still has lots of money and lots of power to shape narratives. If you look at in our TV debate today, something very deeply wrong. We spend more time questioning the legitimacy of Prince Reza Pahlavi back to the narrative of the Second World War, often using to diminishing language that only pleasure the Islamic Republic. The way people name him with misrespect, than talking about regime crimes, its repression, and the real life of the people on the street of Iran. This inversion of priorities is not normal at all. It's something shocking. It shifts attention away from victims and accountability, and ultimately serve the interest of the Islamic Republic and not the Iranian people. You can hear people who are advocating, not openly, but you can hear people who are talking in RTV 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They always their narrative was there is no major, there is no one who is named by the people. There is no organized opposition. People, they are not guided. Until they don't have a guide, they cannot win. So they help people. They don't help people of Iran. They help the Islamic Republic by telling such things.
But people inside Iran, you just told that they are united, and this is very important because I can understand what you say. They have power, they have money, and other kind of forces, but
influence.
The influence, but the fact that people, Iranian people, the simple citizens, are united and they have a common goal for their freedom and to get back their country, I think that there is a hope, and this is what it keeps them. And it keeps you because you are belonging, even if you are not inside Iran, you are belonging to the Iranian diaspora. That, of course, you are helping with your own way and by your own means now regarding this fight.
Sure.
But I'm sure that there is a cost. There is a cost of this hope. There is a cost of this, like people, they are going, even if there are threats of death, of exile, and other kind of atrocities, they are there. They are standing up and they are fighting.
But in a very high, extremely high price. I can mean prison, torture, or exile, as you told, or death. And what keeps people fighting today is not something far more than fundamental than the refusal of the Islamic Republic. That we must know here that since the killing of Mahsa Amini, human rights organizations report that more than 5,000 executions only have taken place in just 3 years. And in recent days alone, reported death tolls reach at least 12,000, and we are talking about much, much, much more, because they brings people from Lebanon, from Iraq, from Palestine, from Afghanistan, to kill or people with the war weapon. And even I didn't have enough time to read, but they are report about the usage of chemical weapon against people.
Oh my God.
You
But
have
what kind, excuse me, Marjan, what kind of people they are coming from all these neighbor, as you are referring, areas?
They are people. They are proxies who have been financially supported by the Islamic Republic for years.
Okay.
So, for example, after the 12 days attack of Israel to the Islamic Republic in Iran, not to the Iranian, but to the Islamic Republic, they managed to give $1 billion, even under the pressure of the international pressure. They have been able to give $1 billion to Hezbollah.
So I'm assuming that you are referring not to simple citizens.
No, and they are footage of these citizens in Iranian airport with their weapon. So they come to Iran with their weapon and they goes. One of our wish as Iranian is what we refuse to accept is that our national resources are stolen to fund international terrorism. Our country is kept in deliberate poverty, and the name of Iran is associated worldwide with hostage taking and violent attacks. People inside Iran say it very clearly now. We do not want to pay for Hamas, for Hashd Shabi, which is from Iraq, for proxy wars. And we do not want our oil revenue and our lives sacrificed for an ideology. You should know that in the constitution of the Islamic Republic, there is no name of Iran. Their aim is to export Islam. And there is also a growing rejection of the system built on a belief openly expressed by the supreme leader that poor people are easier to control and closer to God. So what we want really is nothing else than when we have been fighting for more than 100 years, is the separation of the religion of the state, is a normal country. With peace, with its, having peace with inside and also with the world, and freedom, prosperity, and unity, like the rest of the world. We don't want something else. Despite the fear, despite the repression, despite the exile, people keep fighting because.
And actually, Marjan, the last 2 days, if I'm not mistaken, there is a silence. I mean, we don't know what is happening right now in Tehran or in other places in Iran. Like, do people, they continue to resist? Because we heard about these numerous, like, deaths. So if you can just tell us, like, right now, what is happening today, for example, if you have any kind of image or communication.
They are killing people
Oh my God.
with a direct gunshot. They are the city who have been very, very, because that was all over the Iran, the uprising. They are under military control. They are going door by door, and they even cut the normal phone, not only the internet. So, and they are coming up outside through our media directly themselves or their implemented agent, implemented friends, to telling another story, while people inside Iran gives more than 20,000. These are the latest numbers we hear, even, and with the knowledge of even more. And what I heard is that one of the reasons Trump stopped bombing and stopped the wheel of going there were that they kept many of the people who have been outside for the uprising as a prisoner, and they told, I may say, hostages, and they says, if you touch us, we will execute all of them. And
so again, the fear, again terror, again fear,
again the terror.
Of course,
we are in the same situation than Europe have living during the Second World War. We need external help. We shows our will. We shows that we have a unified and direction. We shows that we choose someone who can be our voice. But if Europeans, Americans, Western countries, free countries, they continue to believe on the people who are related from many kind of relation could happen with the Islamic Republic. So the dilution of that, what people want in Iran, can only help the Islamic Republic to continue and to massacre us.
We don't want this for sure, for certain. This is the worst scenario that can happen.
And this is what we are fearing about so much, because there are many, many interests. But maybe one of your further question is going to be linked with this, the interest of people who don't want this. I don't know.
It's, yes, actually, in a way, and you will help me in this, how this regime managed to stay and to survive for so long, for so many years.
So there are many ways for them to stay in place. One of these ways is to manage, as I told, to have a fake opposition. One of the others is to shape the narrative. And, they are very generous on money. They can pay everyone to stay. And the point is that, for example, they goes to a university and they pay your studies to be in the favor of what they are telling. We know many people who are in Europe and who are telling the narrative the Islamic Republic wants to be told, even though it's in total opposition of people can observe by themselves. When they don't have this ideological point of view, they can see how people are suffering in Iran. To be able to get outside of their home, with beer hand when they have people who are shooting on them, because it happens for 4 days. They came outside even with the danger. They can shape the narrative like that. There are many journalists, many media, and they maintain the narrative they shaped from the Cold War against anything that can take them away from Iran. Each time you are talking to them to, please, we don't want you, they say, have you seen what has been before? Have you seen all and they say the same narrative. And so they bring you on somewhere which is useless, and so these people's, unfortunately, people in Europe, they don't know them. They don't know who is close to the Islamic Republic. Let's talk clearly. For me, and unless I have the opposite of this, someone like Narges Mohammadi, the Nobel Prize of Peace, is fully designed by the Islamic Republic, fully funded by him. They put people they want to highlight for a few time in the jail, and so that gives them a color of being the opposition, and they work for the Islamic Republic to divert and to separate and to go somewhere else. No one I know in Iran is calling her name. No one wants her. And actually, the whole uprising here starts by the fact that the Islamic Republic killed a lawyer who have been at the opposition side, the true opposition. And people who have been having the mourning ceremony were disturbed by the presence of this person. And they asked her to go, to don't stay. And she haven't obeyed. And she was there with the protection of a branch of the IRGC, who is a part of the IRGC, who is the protection for the Supreme Guide and other people of the IRGC. And so they totally divert from the problem of we don't want her, we don't want her to be a part of, to the Islamic Republic bring her again to the jail to just take the narrative. This was the starting point from the beginning of December, and get higher and higher and higher till today. So people in Europe just see, a Nobel Prize of the Peace, and she is connected very, very closely to Rafsanjani family. And Rafsanjani family is a family who has a big part of Iranian revenue captured by a very structured organization. There are very many books on that. I can name the books of Emmanuel Ghazavi. I can give the information about this organized mafia inside. They name themselves as reformators, but in fact, they are from the same kind of, they are the same kind of organization and the same roots.
Actually, you can, it would be very helpful, even for people that they attend our interview, to let down like very specific resources in order for them, if they want to dig more or to learn more, to do it. It's going to be easier, because it's so the complexity of this and what is happening is huge.
Yes. I think this is the point of why the Islamic Republic survived for so long, is the crucial point now, because they are using the same things. They are very, very effective. So they create fear and fragmentation. And this is the first action, fear, by execution, prison, jail, and combined with dividing. And secondly, they are masters of deception. They create fake alternative, reformist, moderate, control organization. This is what they are doing. And as they have money and violent strategically, they can do whatever. And the fourth is that the regime benefits from external mistake. Foreign governments often prefer stability, negotiation, or erosion of reform over controlling and helping the change. They help the system to stay. I think we are in this fourth phase.
Okay.
Benefiting the usage of external mistake.
But I can understand that it's very brave to see, when you're describing all of this situation, to see women and young people, even you now as an Iranian outside of your country, but maybe with all of this that you're describing, maybe you are risking also your life. So I would like you to tell me, like, how, like, these women that we see, young people like you, they are daring to go against this so obviously, to expose things, to speak the truth, and to fight for your freedom.
Everybody is on the risk with the Islamic Republic. Everybody. I'm talking about that. But people who have been Rue de Rennes in France in the 80s, they just died because of a bomb. People in Lebanon, people in Israel, they don't ask for receiving Islamic Republic bombs. But women and men, young people in Iran, they have nothing to lose. That's why they are on the edge of the movement. But we have to also honor the men who are coming outside with them, because men, worker, professional, parents, retires, the entire family, they are involved.
Yes.
And that unite them to the same realization. It's changing the system. And the Iranian diaspora, we are just playing a crucial role in this struggle, because we are forced to the exile, and but we can be the voice of our beloved people,
of course,
and speak freely, document crimes, counter the regime narrative, and keep international attention alive. And for that, I think the part of countering the regime narrative is the hardest part, because they have money, they have influential power, and they have many ways to create narratives. And the moment is very difficult. That's why we need every people who can be aware, who can be our voice, to advocate for human rights, for us to get rid of the Islamic Republic, and to get rid of any people linked to the Islamic Republic. Any people who have helped the Islamic Republic in the past. For example, they are another guy who is a journalist in France 24. His father was a part of the Islamic Republic. Do you believe that this journalist would be an independent one? I don't believe that.
Yes, actually, it's a very crucial moment. Actually, do you think that you are on a crossroad for your country? In any case, you are against this regime or any regime that is similar to this. This is very clear, and we are hoping the same for you. Not to, first of all, to get rid of this regime, and not to go to something similar, to go to something, of course, that you deserve.
Yeah, we are hoping this too. And for that, we need the world to be with us, to see the truth with our eyes, not with the ideological belonging you may have, not with the influential people you may know here. I was really just heard when I saw in France Inter or France Info, I guess, a journalist tells that he repeats what he heard from his Iranian friends and repeating the Cold War narratives. This is not the work of a journalist. His work is to go and dig and see what is true, what is false, because after almost 50 years, many documents, they are public. And what I want the world to finally see is not the geopolitical issue, not a nuclear file, not a regional chessboard. And I truly believe that if the world listen to the same people who live under the regime and respect their choice, like when they call for the external intervention, they believing that they know perfectly what they want and respecting that, this is the way we can help them. When I hear people inside my country, in front of the guns, chanting, Trump, you promise, come. And then in our TV, having experts telling, is it good to go or not? I'm just, it's very, very bad surprise and a very, very bad moment to observe the waste of lives for giving this message. And I want the world to look into the eyes of the Iranian people and see exos and see that they are not, that there is no resignation. They want something. They want the change. I want them to see the courage.
Yes.
Without illusion.
Absolutely.
And I want to say the dignity. Even they have been constantly humiliated by the Islamic Republic. You know, you are living in the Islamic Republic with a country who says, if you are not enough Islamic believer, you can leave the country and we will replace you.
Yes, we see.
I
See, it's and actually, I was about to ask you this because it's very important for us from outside to be able to understand your demand, your claim, and your needs, your true needs, and you don't need experts. You just need
no, we need
support.
actions.
This is it. You just need our support. You just need our voice for your freedom, and you just need, I mean, for us to strengthen you to continue for this change that you deserve to bring for your country.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
really hope on this, not to have it like as a dream only, to be a reality, and all of us to witness this at the end of the day.
Yes. I think Iranian are not asking to have to know what's happened. They know perfectly. So when they are asking for respect of their will and for fair support to achieve what they already fighting for themselves, that means something very concrete, asking for elected representative to support the real Iranian people, not the voice of that simply have access and influence in our media. I can also give you a few links to the media they are used to capture and to post short video coming from inside Iran. And you can very easily translate and you can hear very easily because what they have been telling during these days before they have been killed so massively. And too many of the people presented as Iranian voice in the media they have direct or indirect ties with the Islamic Republic, benefit from networks, and reproduce narrative under the cover of expertise or research. So please hear Iranian directly and act, and actually act, because the prices inside Iran is too high. Behind every protester is a family. They have to pay for the bullets they beloved received, up to 5,000 euros for taking back a body, real euros.
Yes, we heard
when
this.
when the income of a normal worker is 100 euro a month.
But even without this, it doesn't have to do with the income, how much you are earning or not. It wouldn't be at all the case. It's something really sad, really humiliating to do such a thing to Iranian people and to Iranian families.
It's for us what is the most painful. I can talk for myself, is to see, because I have a French passport, is to see my president, my foreign minister shaking the hand of these guys. And every dual Iranian has the same painful living the same painful tragedy. It's not human. You cannot act and hide yourself behind, we want something smooth, we want democracy, politics means talking with everyone. Look what they have done with Hitler. You cannot discuss with these guys on the name of politics or this is the way democracy works. No, they are doing things which are not human. They are brutalizing us since 47 years. And we have this experience because every time we raise our voice, European, Americans, they took the advantage of the situation for having better situation internally or externally. For example, I remember these two ones, but there are many, many others. Obama, in the middle of an uprising the Green movement. That was one of the, or deception, because later we understood that was just a game of reformist and hardliner. But many people have been killed in this game. And in the middle, when people were asking him in the streets, Obama, either you are with us or with them, he deliberately gave to the Islamic Republic a huge amount of money, several billions, and get a signature for the nuclear weapon. And he shows it as a very powerful agreement for the peace. And now, after years, we see that it hasn't stopped anything internally in terms of the way Iranians have been living this awful Islamic regime.
Marjan, we understand you completely. It's a very, very difficult situation. It's not, I need to tell you that it's not so easy for us to understand fully whatever you are telling, because it's a complete series of events. It's a history. It's things that are happening with, like, an order that we cannot know. You know, we are just witnessing things when they are out to us through media. And that's why we are here today, to show that some people, in whatever position they are, or in whatever political parties, and specifically also as social and Democrats, we are not silent. We stand beside you. We will continue to support you, and be strong. And I hope that we are not going to listen about more and more deaths. And soon we will have just good news for you, for all of you, and for you to see a future, a normal future regarding your requirements.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I think as a politician, as a Democrat, as a socialist, the best thing I can hope is to support the people in Iran, what they are telling, the person they have chosen, even if it do not match with your vision, giving them credit to know what they want.
Exactly.
And helping them by cutting all relationship with the Islamic Republic. And it could start by small actions. Don't naming Islamic Republic as Iran. Because a government who says we want Islam believers, we don't want Iranian, Iran doesn't count. This is not Iran, this is Islamic Republic. No. Don't let them abusing our name. And also, you can maybe ask different European countries to recall their ambassadors, to cut any connection with the Islamic Republic, any political connections, to cut any discussions with them, and hope, creating a coalition and going military, because they are keeping us as a hostage. We are in Iranian community. We are used to say we are 90 million hostages, and we need you to a very very practical intervention, and to believe that brings hope and prosperity and getting free of terrorists all around the world.
Yes, for sure, Marzan. This is what we hope, all of us. And for sure, we cannot accept in no way governments that they are treating their people, their citizens like this. It's unthinkable, it's something unacceptable for sure. And truly, I thank you personally. I feel so, so grateful that you were here with us today to share all of these thoughts and to help us to understand more. And we are here, and again, we support you. Be strong for a better future that you deserve.
Thank you very much, Mariniki. Thank you for your invitation, for your kind invitation, for your presence, for your. It's very, very, very important because this is a cross partisan matter. It's a human right matter. It must touching all humanities.
Yes.
And it's matter a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.